Resolved, all states should legalize medical marijuana. Legalizing marijuana can help many sick people. Medical marijuana is used everywhere around the world today. Some for recreational uses and others use it for medical-based reasons. However, if we keep it illegal, then the people that need the medical marijuana and are able to get it will not be able to heal themselves, and they will continue suffering and won't have good medicine to help them. Medical marijuana can help many different illnesses and diseases with few side effects. According to International Business Times, medical marijuana is not only non-lethal but is also beneficial. Medical marijuana can even help if used the right way. Medical marijuana can even be good for your health if used the right way and could help treat illnesses better than what is made in labs. Medical marijuana can help with Alzheimer's disease. In 2006, a research company in California discovered that the active ingredient in medical marijuana can prevent an enemy that can cause Alzheimer's. It can also help pains with epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, glaucoma, arthritis, depression, anxiety, hepatitis C, morning sickness, cancer, HIV, AIDS, chemotherapy, and many others. According to Bill McCarver, millions of people suffer from chronic pain, and much of that suffering cannot be helped by existing treatments. Patients are in desperate need of pain management. He also states that doctors were wondering if medical marijuana can help, but they found out that it can. Drug overdoses rarely ever happen with medical marijuana. According to Dr. Sanjay Gupta, every 19 minutes, someone in the U.S. dies from a prescription drug overdose, but not as caused by marijuana. Pain hurts, and people think the only way to heal your pain is to take medicine. But what if the medication that a person takes doesn't work for them? They will need to have better medication, and medical marijuana is the way to go. We should make it legal in all 50 states because a lot of suffering from chronic pain will go down, and there may be less overdoses because it is being used the right way. Medical marijuana is legal in 2 of the 50 states, so why can't we make it legal in all 50 states so that the people will have different choices to help them with their pain so they will not suffer and get to do multiple things with their families and friends.
My opponent says that the marijuana just helps with medical supplies and masking the pain, but all marijuana really does is just mask the pain, which will cause you to become addicted, and then you'll just become unhealthy. So in marijuana, it will just make you unhealthy, and then you'll just want more, and then sooner or later you're just going to get too addictive, and then it will increase the pain. So that this makes me believe that marijuana should be illegal, because if it makes the pain worse, then what's the point of having it? And therefore, that makes me believe that marijuana with the medical reasons should not be help with the pain.
Did you know in 2012, more than 27% of teenagers nationwide used marijuana in a month? According to a partnership at drugfree.org, this is a 42% increase since 2008. This common use among teenagers comes at a risk mentally and physically. As stated by the National Institute of Drug Abuse, mentally marijuana can temporarily affect the memory, the attention span, and learning process, basically putting you in a temporary state of dementia. Ever think it's funny when grandma's confused? Well, that's you on marijuana. Seems funny, right? Not so much. Just like grandma or any elderly person suffering from such a disease as dementia or Alzheimer's, a person on marijuana can lose touch with reality and may even become paranoid, causing bouts of anxiety or better said panic attacks. During these panic attacks or psychotic reactions, a person can and will injure themselves or others due to the effects marijuana has on one's perception, judgment, and coordination. Just like alcohol, marijuana can affect a person's concentration, judgment, and reaction time, possibly injuring themselves or others. This is just one of the ways being under the influence of marijuana not only affects you, but also those around you. Forgot your mom's birthday and now she started crying because you got high. Forgot to go to practice, now you're sitting on the bench and your team is losing because you got high. The main reason for this is the concentrated amounts of THC in marijuana. THC is the principal psychoactive part of marijuana. It is the reason that marijuana affects a person's mental capacity or lack thereof one. THC does this by binding the receptors in the part of the brain that regulates balance, posture, coordination, and reaction time. But that being said, I would like all of you to do something for me. Close your eyes and picture yourself 10 years from now. All your friends and classmates have graduated from college, moved forward with their lives, and started a family. Your friend just pulled up in a new ride. Now picture you there in your mother's basement, reminiscing about all the fun you had when you got high.
My opponent says that marijuana is addictive, but I disagree because if people know that it will affect your life and your future, most of them will not overdose. Therefore, many will not overdose. And my opponent says that marijuana could cause mental disabilities or even death. But I disagree because it helps with depression, HIV, and many more illnesses, and it also helps with pain. Therefore, medical marijuana is good.
My teammates and I have said, that legalizing marijuana could bring many benefits to people. Legalizing marijuana would help people by not having to always hide it from people or family, friends, and the police. The use of marijuana as a medical agent is available to individuals suffering from pain, glaucoma, wasting syndromes, or associated with HIV and AIDS, nausea and chemotherapy, and a host of other medical conditions and symptoms has become more widely accepted. In 2012, 2 states legalized marijuana for recreational use. An additional 18 states plus the District of Columbia have already legalized marijuana. Even though marijuana is still illegal at the federal level. I would also like to point out that people who use marijuana have shown to lower stress levels and to have a higher self-esteem about themselves, as said from the University of Colorado. Even though people think that marijuana is a very highly addictive drug and that the people addicted to it are bad and are breaking the law unless you live in the 2 states, according to the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency. Studies have shown that alcohol is more addictive than marijuana, and that it is very rare to find people who are addicted to the marijuana. Contrary to the popular belief that marijuana is not as dangerous as portrayed by today's society, marijuana has been shown to reduce stress levels and help with pain from glaucoma and wasting syndromes.
My opponent has said that medical marijuana helps the pain, but we disagree because it just stops the pain for the time being. Therefore, medical marijuana doesn't help the pain. My teammates and I have said that marijuana should be illegal in all states. Marijuana is bad for your body. It can cause anxiety and psychological reactions. Because people are so addicted to marijuana that when they're not using it, they get anxiety and psychological withdrawal. It can also affect the people around you because if children around you, it can damage their brain. Or if other people around you, it can damage their lungs or brain. THC affects your body because it's the main part of marijuana, so it can also do damage to your body like being depressed. We would also like to point out that it can negatively affect your education. According to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, kids who smoke marijuana get lower grades and have greater chance of dropping out of high school. This shows has a negative impact on kids' education and shows that teens should not smoke marijuana. Research has shown that marijuana's negative effects on attention, memory, and learning can last for days or weeks after acute effects of drugs wear off. So, would you rather have people be healthy or unhealthy?
My opponent says that marijuana just stops some medical problems, but this makes me believe that that's not true because it just causes more problems because it makes you unhealthy and it also causes like increase in blood vessels, so then your eyes become red, which can tell that people will know that you've been on marijuana, which would not be good for your reputation or like for how how popular you are, and then they'll be like, you've been on marijuana, so that might affect your reputation. Also, that just like alcohol, it becomes an addiction, and an addiction you can't really help much, so it can become really hard for you to not overdose. So therefore, I believe that marijuana just causes more problems.
My opponent says that it only helps with the time that you have it, but I disagree because at the time you feel the pain, you would forget about it after, and you will think less of the pain. So therefore, you would think less